Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Ohio University ceremonial mace, which is carried by the Chair of the Faculty Senate, Dr. Beth Quitzland. The arrival of the mace marks the official opening of this Ohio University commencement ceremony. We ask that you remain standing for the procession of the platform party, the presentation of the colors, and the singing of our national anthem.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ohio University's annual commencement exercises. As chair of the Ohio University Board of Trustees, it is my privilege and blessing to convene the 2014 Graduate Commencement Ceremony. I welcome the graduates who are being honored today. We also welcome your families, your friends, and your fans. Now I am pleased to introduce the presentation of the colors, which will be escorted by our Army ROTC. Following the presentation, please join Mr. Daniel Drum, who graduates this morning with a master's degree in vocal performance and pedagogy, for the singing of our national anthem. Mr. Drum will be accompanied by the Ohio University Wind Symphony under the direction of Dr. Andrew Traxel, Assistant Professor of Music and Director of Bands. If you're not already standing, I ask you to please rise at this time. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Welcome, graduates. Wait. Hold it. A little bit more enthusiasm. Welcome, graduates. All right. As president of Ohio University, and on behalf of our faculty and staff, I am delighted to welcome family, friends, and most especially our graduates to this morning's commencement ceremony. As we begin this ceremony, I would like to recognize the distinguished guests who are with us this morning. I ask that they stand as I introduce them and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until all guests have been introduced. Please join me in welcoming members of Ohio University's Board of Trustees, our academic officials, our administrative officials, representatives of our university senates, our distinguished professors, our honorary degree recipients, Her Excellency Ambassador Tebalelo Mazele Seretse, and Mr. Raymond B. Fogg, and our speaker for this morning's commencement, the 2013 Outstanding Graduate Faculty Award recipient, Dr. Amy Edmondson. Please be seated. You already met the important people seated behind the platform: the Ohio University Wind Symphony and Dr. Traxel. I would also like to acknowledge some special guests who are seated to my left in the lower balcony. the First Lady of Ohio University, Deborah McDavis, members of my executive staff, spouses, family members, and guests of our platform party members and our special honorees, right there. Would the fine faculty of Ohio University please stand and be recognized? On behalf of our graduates, thank you for your creativity, passion, and dedication. You have prepared this next generation of thinkers, leaders, scholars, and innovators to succeed in their chosen fields. Thank you for all you do each and every day and for your commitment to our students, these graduates, and Ohio University. Graduates, today, we honor you, your achievement, your commitment, and your passion. Some of you are receiving master's degrees and others doctoral degrees. At this time, I also would like to recognize all of our military and veteran students for their past, present, and continued service to our country. Would these graduates please rise? It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Ryan Lombardi, our Vice President for Student Affairs, to the podium to recognize our student leaders. Following Dr. Lombardi, Dr. Pam Benoit, our Executive Vice President and Provost, will announce the 2014 Outstanding Graduate Faculty Award recipient. Dr. Lombardi.
For more than 200 years, Ohio University has been preparing graduates to become leaders in all walks of life. We are very proud of the transformative nature of Ohio University, and we stand with you here today to celebrate and honor our graduate student leaders. Leadership is not just about a role, it's about you, the students. It's about the growth that has occurred during your time here at Ohio University. As students pursuing advanced degrees, you have been in a unique position to serve as leaders in our community. Many of you have been teaching assistants, research assistants, or participated in some other type of graduate assistantship. You have acted as mentors to our undergraduate students, and you have helped in their transformation while continuing with your own. Your research and service have positively impacted the University and Athens community, and we thank you for your contributions. As you prepare to finish this chapter of your education, I ask that you continue to pay it forward. Whether you're continuing your studies here or elsewhere, or will venture into professional practice in some setting, I hope you will use your education and the other life lessons you have learned as a foundation to become leaders in our global society. Indeed, as you move into the ranks of alumni, please carry forward the Bobcat spirit. You are not just graduating as a scholar and as a leader, you are graduating as an Ohio University Bobcat. It has been a very distinct pleasure to have the opportunity to serve you, and I wish you the best of luck in all that you do. Congratulations.
Good morning, and welcome graduates and guests. As the Chief Academic Officer of Ohio University, I'm elated to come before this assembly today in honor of your accomplishment. We also recognize the work of faculty who challenged and encouraged you to achieve your goals. While many deserve our gratitude, we take this time to recognize one who embodies the dedication, determination, and teaching excellence. Established in 1972, the Outstanding Graduate Faculty Award honors a professor who has demonstrated exemplary performance as an instructor, a researcher, and a faculty member. Each graduate department nominates one of its faculty for the award, and the recipient will serve as the Graduate Commencement speaker the following year. This year's Outstanding Graduate Faculty Award recipient is Dr. Thomas Vanderven. Dr. Vanderven, will you please stand? Dr. Vanderven is a professor of sociology and anthropology and our director of criminology in the College of Arts and Sciences. Since his arrival at Ohio University in 2001, Dr. Vanderven has been revered by graduate and undergraduate students for his thought-provoking approach and interactive teaching on topics ranging from crime and delinquency to the sociology of alcohol. Dr. Vanderven's 2011 study of social alcohol use on college campuses has contributed to greater understanding of why alcohol abuse occurs and how it can be prevented or mitigated. His work also provides hard evidence that dispels the misconception that maternal employment increases the likelihood of delinquency. Graduate and student nominators noted Dr. Vanderven's engaging seminars and his tireless efforts to transform graduate students into professional researchers through co-authorship opportunities. His commitment also extends to our local community, where Dr. Vanderven serves as a board member at the Hocking Valley Community Residential Center, a correctional facility for adolescent males. Among his many professional honors, Dr. Vanderven has been the recipient of the Outstanding University College Advocate Award, the College of Arts and Sciences Outstanding Teaching Award, and the prestigious University Professor Award, just to name a few. It also includes today that we are happy to expand that list to include Ohio University's 2014 Outstanding Graduate Faculty Award, a committed faculty member, mentor, and scholar. Please join me again in congratulating Dr. Vanderven.
Thank you, Dr. Lombardi and Dr. Benoit. I also add my congratulations to Dr. Vanderven. Good work. We are most fortunate to have an extremely capable group of faculty at Ohio University. Through the Distinguished Professor Award, which was established in 1959, we recognize scholarly accomplishment, professional reputation, and contribution to the university. Considered the university's highest academic honor, recipients receive a lifetime designation, 1 semester of professional leave, and the privilege of naming one undergraduate student annually to receive a Distinguished Professor Scholarship. Please join me in congratulating the 2014 Distinguished Professor, Dr. Christopher France. As a professor in the Department of Psychology, Dr. France is internationally recognized for his outstanding scholarship and widespread contributions in the fields of health psychology and behavioral medicine. His most noteworthy contributions to date include pioneering research on the relationship between risk for hypertension and decreased pain perception. It was through this research that Dr. France came to spearhead the development of a novel model of blood pressure and pain regulation. His work ultimately will seek to identify those at greatest risk for significant blood pressure elevations so that early prevention efforts can be applied. Dr. France's findings have deeply impacted pain assessment and pain treatment. His research also has led to enhancements in the blood donation experience. Among his many professional honors, Dr. France has been elected a fellow in the American Psychological Association, the Society of Behavioral Medicine, the International Organization of Psychophysiology, and most recently, the Academy of Behavioral Medicine Research. His research has attracted nearly $7 million in grants during the 23 years he has served on the Ohio University faculty. Throughout his distinguished career, Dr. France has exemplified the teaching and service missions of Ohio University. We are very proud to confer the Distinguished Professor Award upon Dr. France in recognition of his contributions to health psychology, to behavioral medicine, to Ohio University, and most importantly, to the education of our students. Congratulations, Distinguished Professor France. I now have the privilege of conferring an honorary degree upon Her Excellency, Ambassador Tabalelo Mazele Seretse. Ambassador Seretse is the first woman appointed ambassador to the United States from Botswana. In this role, she has championed economic development through education and proven herself to be an unequaled advocate for the rights of women, young people, and the elderly. Since assuming her post in February 2011, Ambassador Seretse has been particularly successful in garnering scholarships, discounts, and in-state tuition offers for college students from Botswana to attend American universities. In addition, she has worked tirelessly to promote respect and exposure for Botswana and Botswana's entities among the American public. Just as Ambassador Seretse's advocacy has opened countless eyes, her partnership has opened countless doors for Ohio University students and faculty. In honor of her vast and distinguished contributions, we are most proud to count Ambassador Seretse among our elite honorary degree recipients. Ambassador Seretse, please join me at the podium. Trustee Anderson and Dr. Benoit, please come forward to assist with the conferral of this degree.
As an influential human rights advocate, a champion of economic development through education, and the first woman appointed ambassador to the United States from Botswana, you are a powerful, positive example of leadership placed in the service of compassion and inclusiveness. A lawyer, economist, and accountant by virtue of training and education, your prolific occupational experience spans more than 25 years in both public and private enterprise. However, it is perhaps your dedication to public service through participation in the realms of diplomacy and politics that sets you apart. Your distinguished political career, which includes past service as a member of parliament and cabinet member in Botswana, has achieved unprecedented respect and exposure for Botswana among the American public. Your unwavering commitment to equality has enabled the elevation of women into positions of authority and the expansion and accessibility of education for all Botswana citizens. In tandem with your ambassadorial responsibilities, you have championed the relationship between Ohio University and Botswana, acting as a catalyst in creating and expanding opportunities for Ohio University faculty and students. Nowhere is this more apparent than the memorandums of understanding executed between Botswana entities and Ohio University. Your quest for social justice and educational access has deeply impacted and inspired our international community. In the process of leading your country to prominence on the global stage, you have created enormous opportunities for the people of Botswana and the students and faculty of Ohio University.
Ambassador Tabalelo Mazele Seretse. On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Ohio University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Public Service with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Mr. President, the Board of Trustees, faculty, fellow graduates, good morning to all of you. It is indeed a great pleasure for me and an honor to receive this highest award of an honorary degree. To my mind, it is not the regalia of the outfit for getting an honorary degree. However, it is the responsibility of having to champion Botswana, to work with all and sundry to ensure that this honor does what it is supposed to do. For those of you who may not be aware, Botswana is in Southern Africa, it's a landlocked country, and the #1 producer of diamonds by value in the world. Last year, we were able to move the diamond trading company out of London to Botswana. This has given us a lot of pride, and with our development diamonds, we provide free education to our young people up to university. We provide free health care. It is talking to graduates like yourselves to say that do not be limited by the borders. These borders are artificial. Today, the World Bank and the IMF state that the fastest growing economies of the world are in Africa. We look to yourselves to be innovative. We look to yourselves to help so that the unfairness and the injustice which happens globally, affecting women, the health of women and the health of the children globally, can be enhanced by your research, by your scholarly dispensation. Ohio University started relationship with Botswana in the 1960s, way before and just on the eve of independence, which was 1966. And we walk on the shoulders of those who have come before us. We wish the relationship between Ohio University and the country of Botswana would someday make Botswana indeed a country of excellence. Thank you for the honor you bestowed upon me, and I would live to your expectations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and again, congratulations, Dr. Seretse. I now have the privilege of conferring an honorary degree upon Mr. Raymond B. Fogg, Sr. The legacy of Ohio University alumnus Raymond Fogg is founded upon building innovation and benevolence. In Northeast Ohio, he is known as the area's premier commercial builder, thanks to the tremendous success of his namesake company. In Central America and Africa, he is known as a dedicated humanitarian who has been known to fly one-man relief missions in his Cessna 310 following natural disasters. Not only has he personally airlifted hundreds of families from the grips of disaster, but he has gone back to help rebuild their homes, churches, schools, and other community spaces. From rescue missions to philanthropic contributions, Mr. Fogg's impact runs deep. His unwavering altruism and entrepreneurial ingenuity make him most deserving of Ohio University's eminent honor. Mr. Fogg, please join me at the podium. Trustee Anderson and Dr. Benoit, please come forward to assist with the conferral of this degree.
As one of the premier commercial builders in Northeastern Ohio, innovation and entrepreneurship have been the hallmarks of your success. Your talent for business is indisputable, and your heart for humanity is a humbling example for us all. Today, your significant humanitarian contribution has earned you utmost distinction within the Ohio University community. As founder of Ray Fogg Building Methods Incorporated, you revolutionized the building industry with new development, contracting, and financing services. Over the course of your 55-year career, your company has built more than 5,000 buildings, many of which you personally designed. Moreover, your building expertise has had a profound effect in developing nations, providing emergency medical transportation, relief supplies, and construction management services to countless communities in dire need of such assistance. Your altruism also extends to Ohio University, where your support for faculty and students has earned you distinction as the 4th largest Rusk College donor in Ohio University's bicentennial campaign. As a trustee emeritus of the Ohio University Foundation Board and a current member of numerous boards within the Rusk College of Engineering and Technology, your service and counsel have been invaluable. Your gift for development is remarkable, but your building ingenuity far exceeds bricks and mortar. Through your passion, generosity, and personal sacrifice, you are building inroads for the innovators for tomorrow. More than any other, these contributions speak volumes for your character and further differentiate your career as one to be remembered.
Mr. Raymond B. Fogg, Sr., on behalf of the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Ohio University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree Doctor of Humane Letters with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
I wish to express my appreciation to President McDavis and of course to the University Board of Trustees for granting me this honorary doctorate. I would not have been able to achieve all the various accomplishments that I have enjoyed during my lifetime without the help of my family, close friends, advisors, and many assistants. Some of those people are here today, and I wish to express my thanks to them. The education I received at Ohio University, combined with the real-world experience I gained through working with mentors such as my father, the United States Air Force, and early business associates, prepared me to achieve success. It gave me opportunities to create for good. The success I enjoyed in business made it possible for me to devote large amounts of time and energy to charitable work throughout the world. But it all started here at Ohio University. I have cherished the opportunity to work with the Ohio University Foundation, the Rusk College of Engineering and Technology, so that Ohio University will continue to be a starting place for young people to reach their goals and make their lives more meaningful. Through my involvement with various charities, I have found the experiences and the relationships I have had with others have been so beneficial that I believe it is I who should be thankful for the opportunity to serve. To those who leave here today to begin a new life journey, I offer you one simple token of advice. Strive to find ways to give back, because that's when the real rewards are realized. It started here for me. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you and congratulations, Dr. Fogg. It is now my honor to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Amy Edmondson. Dr. Amy Edmondson is an assistant professor in the E.W. Scripps School of Journalism in Ohio University's Scripps College of Communication. Building on 12 years of reporting experience, she is described by her students as a strong teacher, a compassionate mentor, and a diligent collaborator who is deeply committed to graduate research and education. Since arriving at Ohio University in 2008, Dr. Edmondson has served on approximately 20 committees for doctoral dissertations and master's thesis, meticulously overseeing and advising students through the comprehensive exams and the dissertation proposal process. Among her recent professional highlights, Dr. Edmondson has administered training for professional journalists in Nairobi, Kenya, and in 2012, she was awarded a Fulbright Hayes grant to conduct training workshops in India. Dr. Edmondson is frequently sought as a discussant at journalism conferences and symposiums nationwide. Her recent research interests include the use of libel during the civil rights movement, coverage of desegregation issues, the evolution of state sunshine laws, and the Freedom of Information Act. She also serves as assistant editor for the prestigious journal, Journalism History. Despite her many scholarly undertakings, she makes time to assist numerous student mentees. Her passion for teaching has contributed immeasurably to the Ohio University community and its top-rated journalism programs. A committed graduate faculty member, mentor, and scholar, please join me in welcoming Dr. Edmondson.
President McDavis, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, alumni, and especially you, the class of 2014. Commencement speeches are usually given by people who are either old or wise. I am neither. But it occurs to me on this most glorious of days that if you look at your program, I am the last thing standing between you and your degree. And so now you must sit through your last lecture. There are precisely 86 sentences in my speech, 5 of which you have already heard. I have been asked to speak for 8 minutes, and I am striving for such brevity. But today I would like to talk to you about your choice to live a life of the mind. Our city and our county are named after the great learning center, Athens, Greece. And so, in fact, we are Athenians. What an opportune time, then, to talk about our ancestors, spiritually speaking. They lived about 2,500 years ago, and while we do not know a great deal about their origins, we do know much about their accomplishments. They developed a complete alphabet and became known as the first truly literate group on the planet. They came up with the idea of political democracy and were robust in their practice of it. They invented what we now call philosophy. They valued beauty, reason, moderation. Their culture began declining about 2,000 years ago, and not what they created, however. In the words of the late communications theorist Neil Postman, their imagination, art, politics, literature, and language spread all over the world, so that today it's hardly possible to speak on any subject without repeating what some Athenian said on the matter 2,500 years ago. Another group of people flourished in Europe about 1,700 years ago, the Visigoths, who were fabulous horsemen, but they were conquerors, brutal and ruthless. Their language was crude and lacked depth, comparatively speaking. As they galloped through Europe, they destroyed everything in their path. We have little science, theater, logic, poetry, and the like from the Visigoths. They were happy to burn books and buildings, and they ushered in a period we think of as the Dark Ages. Like the Athenians, they disappeared. It would take Europe 1,000 years to recover from the rampages, but the spirit of the Athenian and the Visigoth survive, Postman has argued. In a widely quoted essay, also a graduation speech, he laid out these different approaches to being in the world today. You can be an Athenian, or you can be a Visigoth. It is much more difficult to be a Visigoth, to be an Athenian. You must learn how to be an Athenian. You must work at being an Athenian. In contrast, we might all be natural-born Visigoths. That's probably why there are so many more Visigoths out there than Athenians. Perhaps it was a Visigoth who invented this unfortunate thing called reality TV. My friend David Abramson, a student of Postman's and now a Northwestern University journalism historian, agrees both Athenians and Visigoths survive in all of us. In his words, to be an Athenian is to hold knowledge, and especially the quest for knowledge, in high esteem, to contemplate, to reason, to experiment, to question. These are, to an Athenian, the most exalted activities a person can perform. To a Visigoth, the quest for knowledge is useless unless it can help you to earn money only or to gain power over other people. However, you cannot be an Athenian by merely accumulating academic degrees. And this is not a matter of high culture versus the common man. A blue-collar laborer can be an Athenian, while many of today's politicians are likely Visigoths. To be sure, the academy is an Athenian idea, but more than that, you must strive to live the Athenian way, brimming with intellectual curiosity and enterprise. You must embark on a quest of lifelong learning. This is just the beginning on this day of days for you who are about to receive your degrees. Neil Postman, whose essay I quote, is best known for his 1985 cultural critique about television, Amusing Ourselves to Death, which came before we even had reality TV. He was criticized by some for choosing the Visigoth as the antithesis of the Athenian in his essay, that perhaps the Vikings of the 8th and 9th centuries should be the villain of this story, or possibly the early Anglo-Saxons, or even the Vandals are better metaphors for evil. Regardless of the chosen metaphor, let us not focus on the evil, but on the good, the Athenians who are among us today especially. Now I would like to tell you about a few Athenians right here on our convocation floor, here in the class of 2014. Sitting among you today is Nihal Saeed, who is seeking her master's degree in Communication and Development Studies from the Scripps College of Communication and the Center for International Studies. Motivated by the current political climate and the events in her native Egypt, Nihal studied the effect of the political context in motivating youth movements such as HarassMap, one of 3 projects working to raise awareness of and challenge the social acceptability of public sexual harassment in Egyptian society. Nihal said she faced sexual harassment in public every day, which is consistent with research that's been conducted by the United Nations that tells us 99% of Egyptian women have experienced some form of harassment. Nihal investigated the communications tools used by 3 separate initiatives being enacted in Egypt to tackle the problem in the streets. She worked to find common themes in the communications tools they used and in the public's response to them, in an effort to find best practices in a communication model that might be useful for addressing other social problems. Also sitting among you is Kelly Ferguson, who is receiving her PhD in creative writing nonfiction. She is the author of the book My Life as Laura, How I Searched for Laura Ingalls Wilder and Found Myself. Kelly donned a prairie dress and retraced the pioneer journey of Laura Ingalls Wilder's work from Wisconsin, moved to Minnesota, to South Dakota, to Missouri, exploring Laura's past and her own. Her book is part travelogue, part memoir, and part social commentary, and it's getting rave reviews. Also here today is Naheem Gul, who is receiving his master's degree in international development. He's a Fulbright scholar from Pakistan, who is returning home to continue his work with refugees on the Afghan border. Naeem, who was once held by the Taliban for a day in Afghanistan because he was not wearing a beard, has worked for NGOs in the region for many years near his village north of Peshawar. He has helped with the psychosocial support and counseling services for victims of torture, and his first master's degree, earned in Islamabad, dealt with the survival strategies of displaced Afghans. A side note, Naeem was also on the winning team of the Scripps Innovation Challenge, a university-wide contest held last month that gives students the opportunity to react to our ever-changing media environment. He and 2 other Athenians took home the $10,000 prize for their pitch on monetizing the Columbus Dispatch's 190,000 Twitter followers. Now Naeem will have some extra money to visit the Grand Canyon before he leaves for Pakistan later this month. Also sitting among you is Jamie Lynn Scott, who is receiving her PhD in counselor education from the Patton College of Education. A wife, mother, and elementary school counselor, Jamie lives on a farm nearby, thus remaining an Athenian in spirit and a longtime resident of the Athens, Ohio area. Jamie's qualitative research focuses on the people of Appalachia who have overcome so many odds to be successful, using interviews to determine the best counseling practice for helping improve mental health care locally. Given that there are too many negative stereotypes about Appalachia and that OU is situated here, Jamie's professors agree that her work, understanding what bolsters and fosters resilience in this culture, is both timely and pertinent. Also here today is Carrie Goodman, who's receiving her master's in business administration and her master's in sports administration. Carrie was this year's chairperson for the 3rd annual Race for a Reason, which raised a record $115,000 for 108 charities, most right here in Southeast Ohio. This includes the Suicide Prevention Coalition, Friends of the Shelter Dogs, and community food initiatives, Heroes for Hunger, just to name a few. Carrie, who played soccer for Duke University during her undergraduate years, lost her father to a stroke right before she started graduate school in August of 2012. Thankfully, she found the strength to excel at OU and to help fortify an already strong spirit of volunteerism in the sports admin department. Also sitting among you is Christian Rico Sagardia, who is receiving his master's degree in electrical engineering. He and another Athenian have founded a company called Razor Dynamics to improve mobile phone location services, and they have received financial assistance and mentoring from the Ohio University Center for Entrepreneurship. Rico's company has created a 3D graphical interface that could be used by the military or by firefighters and first responders, or even consumers looking to find friends in a crowded or unfamiliar environment. This technology can complement existing platforms such as Google Glass, and instead of asking the more broad question, where am I, or what's my location, rather, this technology answers a more nuanced and important query, where am I? So your smartphones will be changing soon. The graduates I've noted today are just a small cross-section of our class of 2014. If their contributions are any indication, the future certainly is bright. Nihal, Kelly, Naeem, Jamie, Carrie, and Rico, would you please stand and be recognized? Now, in the time-honored tradition of commencement speakers, let me offer a few words of advice, especially for you, the class of 2014, who are about to embark upon your new lives. There's no such thing as too smart. See the world, literally. May each and every one of you have a wee bit of wanderlust in your blood. Sometimes you're going to take one in the teeth. When that happens, get up off the dirt. Ask good questions, like why do flammable and inflammable mean the same thing? Be a Tigger and not an Eeyore. Timelessly captured in the Winnie the Pooh characters created by A.A. Milne, each of us must decide, am I a Tigger or am I an Eeyore? Pick a camp. That is, be a raging optimist. Engage in the political process. Every 2 years, we get to drive to a fire station and overthrow the government, and there's not a police officer in sight. Read a good book, often. As Dr. Seuss said, fill your house with stacks of books in all of the crannies and all of the nooks. It is important to have specific dreams. Remember that there are a couple of ingredients that separate, hey, you know what we could do? From, hey, look what we did. Drive and tenacity. Expect problems and look forward to solving them. Work hard. It's really that simple. Randy Pausch, who got a computer science professor at Carnegie Mellon, who got tenure a year early, in his book said, in the last lecture, he wrote that junior professors approached him after he went up for tenure and received it a year early. Wow, how did you do it? What's your secret? And he said, it's really pretty simple. Call me any Friday night in my office at 10 o'clock and I'll tell you all about it. Of course, this was before he had a family, but you get the idea. Work hard at a job you love. Discover the lost art of the thank you note. Write them often. Okay, your last lecture is over. It says here, pause here for applause. But before I leave this lectern, let me thank the Graduate Student Senate, Athenian Molly Yanity in particular, for finding me worthy of the Outstanding Graduate Faculty Award. In the words of writer George Saunders regarding the attainment of the college degree, you have accomplished something difficult and tangible that has enlarged you as a person and will make your life better from here on in forever. My 86 sentences have come and gone. Congratulations, Athenians, class of 2014. Godspeed.
Thank you, Amy. Well done. Well done. And I think with keeping with the theme of your speech and with our chair and vice chair of our Board of Trustees, we will just proclaim that every graduate, in addition to getting your degree today, is a lifetime Athenian. All right. Graduates, each of you is achieving a personal milestone today. And each of you has had special support in achieving your educational goal. For many of you, it was your parents. For others, it was your spouse or significant other, your children or family members, your colleagues, or your very good friends. They were there for you every step of the way, believing in and encouraging you when you yourself may have had some doubts. Graduates, before we award the degrees you have worked so hard to earn, please take just a moment to stand and say thank you to everyone in the audience who has supported you during this educational endeavor. Please stand and say thank you. And we certainly add our thanks to all the supporters of our graduates. Regardless of your approach, your graduation represents what lives within you. Passion, determination, and hope brought you to this moment. Whatever your path, each of you has brought unique characteristics and special talents to Ohio University, and you have made our university richer by your presence. For that, we say thank you. Congratulations, graduates! I now invite to the podium Dr. Joseph Shields, Vice President for Research and Creative Activity and Dean of the Graduate College, to present the candidates for doctoral degrees.
Thank you, President McDavis. The Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, and Doctor of Physical Therapy are the highest academic degrees in their fields granted by American universities. It is awarded to those who have demonstrated academic or clinical mastery in their field and successfully completed and defended a dissertation. The faculty member accompanying the doctoral candidate is either the student's major advisor or another faculty member who has been closely associated with the student's academic program. Candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, and Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees, please stand.
President McDavis, these students have completed all the requirements for their doctoral programs. Accordingly, I have the very great honor of presenting them to you for conferral of their degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Ohio University Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, or Doctor of Physical Therapy, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. We welcome you into the company of scholars.
Candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Audiology, and Doctor of Physical Therapy degrees, please come forward.
Candidates from the College of Arts and Sciences, Dilupama Ayashani Divaratni, escorted by Dr. Carl R. Bruni. Yuting Lee, escorted by Dr. David Draybold. Douglas James Hoffman, escorted by Dr. Todd Iceworth. Matthew Stephen Latanzaiu, escorted by Dr. Donald Miles. Kelly Ann Williams, escorted by Dr. Donald B. Miles. Liza Chaitalo Mermelstein, escorted by Dr. John Garsky. Megan Austin, escorted by Dr. Christine Giddich. Erin Catlin Tansil, escorted by Dr. Christine Giddich. Milo S. Wilson, escorted by Dr. Christine Giddich. Boris Krasimirov Todorov, escorted by Dr. Kenneth Holroyd. Craig A. Meyer, escorted by Dr. Sherry Graydon. Caillou Shen, escorted by Dr. Sarah Wyatt. Tapash K. Deb, escorted by Dr. Michael P. Jensen. Dustin Fallstick, escorted by Dr. Paul C. Jones. Budini Pornica Wajawansa, escorted by Dr. Paul King. Adam Hara, escorted by Dr. Darlene Berriman. Joseph Mastromateo, escorted by Dr. Sergio Lopez Permuth. Xiaolong Lu, escorted by Dr. Eric Mason. Alexander Anning, escorted by Dr. Brian C. McCarthy. Heather Michelle Sowards, escorted by Dr. Joseph McLaughlin. Jamie Huckins Barker, escorted by Dr. Christopher France. Regina Marie Warfel, escorted by Dr. Christopher France. Gregory Michael Peterson, escorted by Dr. Nancy Sandler. David L. Prentice, escorted by Dr. Chester Patch. Amy Borkart, escorted by Dr. Stephen Patterson. Michael Allen Warren, escorted by Dr. Paula Popovich. Andrew J. Green, escorted by Dr. Hugh H. Richardson. Rakita Sanjeewa Biminiwata, escorted by Dr. Julie Roche. Christopher Adam Frank Howie, escorted by Dr. Willem Rosenberg. Desiree Cotto Figueroa, escorted by Dr. Thomas S. Statler. Petya Dimitrova Demireva, escorted by Dr. Julie Schur. Yin Yun Lee, escorted by Dr. David F.J. Tees. Oliver Luke Carpenter, escorted by Dr. Peter Harrington. Jungfong Wang, escorted by Dr. Peter Harrington. Lana Oedat, escorted by Dr. Mara Holt. Thank you, Dean Frank. Candidates from the Scripps College of Communication. Stelina Abashan Chapman, escorted by Dr. Benjamin R. Bates. Michael M. Parsons, escorted by Dr. Amy Chadwick. Shan Shan Lu, escorted by Dr. Roger Cooper. Erin Heather Armstrong, escorted by Dr. Bernard Debitin. Roshan Nourzai, escorted by Dr. Don Flournoy. Stephanie Michelle Rule, escorted by Dr. Lynn M. Harter. Shannon L. Lawson, escorted by Dr. Judith Yaros Lee. Margaret Ann Romaser, escorted by Dr. Jerry L. Miller. Melissa Cumberbatch, escorted by Dr. Norma Pecora. Moyi Jia, escorted by Dr. Claudia Hale. Stephen P. Phelan, escorted by Dr. William K. Rollins. Thank you, Dean Titsworth. Candidates from the Patton College of Education. Eric T. Beeson, escorted by Dr. Christine Suniti Bhatt. Jamie Ann Linscott, escorted by Dr. Christine Suniti Bhatt. Denver Jade Fowler, escorted by Dr. Gordon P. Brooks. Marcia Shook Lewis, escorted by Dr. Gordon P. Brooks. Emily A. Price, escorted by Dr. Gordon P. Brooks. Trevor Ryan Thomas, escorted by Dr. Holly Raffel. Emily Catherine Hepp, escorted by Dr. Tom Davis. Tanya Marie Milligan, escorted by Dr. Renee A. Middleton. Nyambwe Badu, escorted by Dr. Teresa Franklin. Laura Elizabeth Hibbard, escorted by Dr. Teresa Franklin. Judith Michelle Price, escorted by Dr. Teresa Franklin. Mark Edward Barrett, escorted by Dr. Eugene Geist. George Vincent Amagno, escorted by Dr. Francis Godwill. Shannon David, escorted by Dr. John Hitchcock. John Robert Rausch, escorted by Dr. John Hitchcock. Virginia Marie Cottrill, escorted by Dr. Peter Mather. Stephanie Louise Kroll, escorted by Dr. Peter Mather. Jacob Odoch Okumu, escorted by Dr. Peter Mather. Randall Scott Price, escorted by Dr. Peter Mather. Briju Thankachan, escorted by Dr. David Richard Moore. Dan Showalter, escorted by Dr. Bob Klein. Diane Louise Bouvier, escorted by Dr. Valerie Martin Connolly. Catherine Lynn McFarland, escorted by Dr. William Larson. Shane C. Shope, escorted by Dr. William Larson. Kathy Lynn Pittman, escorted by Dr. James Salzman. Thank you, Dean Middleton. Candidates from the Russ College of Engineering and Technology. Luis Alejandro Diaz Aldana, escorted by Dr. Geraldine G. Botte. Scott Larson Nicol, escorted by Dr. David M. Chelberg. Manjeet Singh, escorted by Dr. Robert Judd. Thank you, Dean Irwin. Candidates from the College of Fine Arts. Daniel Charles Dennis, escorted by Dr. William F. Condi. Anton Sutandio, escorted by Dr. Michael Gillespie. Thank you, Dean Kennedy Daigas. Candidates from the College of Health Sciences and Professions. Kathleen Michelle Cummins, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Noelle Rachel Dobrovolsky, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Andrew Clay Hundley, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Corey Andrew Husk, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Lauren Nadine Munsor, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Olivia Ann McGinnis, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Kayleen Lee Plahuta, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Kristen Ellen Rogacki, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Marissa Christine Wilding, escorted by Dr. James Odenthal. Ashley Danielle Cole, escorted by Dr. Avril Overby. Brittany Nicole Barta, escorted by Dr. Gary Claiborne. Jessica Lynn Hayden, escorted by Dr. Gary Claiborne. Stephanie Marie Krug, escorted by Dr. Gary Claiborne. Jesse Allen McKnight, escorted by Dr. Gary Claiborne. Casey Lee Passon, escorted by Dr. Gary Claiborne. Gina K. Unruh, escorted by Dr. Gary Claiborne. Lynn Kanaili, escorted by Dr. Sally Marinelli. Gayatri Ram, escorted by Dr. Sally Marinelli. Jessica Lindsay Higgins, escorted by Dr. Ashley Crow. Allison Maria Wills, escorted by Dr. David Russ. Ashlyn Rayette Miller, escorted by Dr. Brooke Vaughn. Yvain Delaney Nieder, escorted by Dr. Brooke Vaughn. Kelly Ann Bartow, escorted by Dr. Janice Howman. Kristen Ann Hill, escorted by Dr. Janice Howman. Megan Eileen May, escorted by Dr. Janice Howman. Kayla Lynn Nowak, escorted by Dr. Janice Howman. Angela Dawn Perkins, escorted by Dr. Janice Howman. Allison Marie Brown, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Lindsay Marie Bushenik, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Aaron Cook, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Matthew Mauritian, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Natalie Rose Metzger, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Sarah Jane Sabo, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Abby Selhorst, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Charles Sizemore, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Leah Marie Thorson, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Beverly Ann Weithman, escorted by Dr. Betty Sindelar. Jared Ray Ackerman, escorted by Dr. James S. Thomas. Heather Lynn Banks, escorted by Dr. James S. Thomas. Lauren Marie Brown, escorted by Dr. James Thomas. Naveen Nagaraj, escorted by Dr. Jeffrey DiGiovanni. Sarah Elizabeth McCartney, escorted by Dr. Jeffrey DiGiovanni. Joni Faye Metzger, escorted by Dr. Jeffrey DiGiovanni. Cassie Elizabeth Costello, escorted by Dr. Fu Ching Zheng. Ashley Jean Elizabeth Graber, escorted by Dr. Brandy Nance. Caitlin Johns Hotstetler, escorted by Dr. Dennis Reese. Angela Marie Reckel, escorted by Dr. Dennis Reese. Emily Beth Brown, escorted by Dr. Lee Shu. Jency Elise Randall, escorted by Dr. Lee Shu. Jessica Vadlamudi, escorted by Dr. Lee Shu. Thank you, Dean Leidy.
It is now my honor to present the candidates for master's degrees. Candidates, will you please rise? President McDavis, these candidates have completed all of the requirements for their master's programs at Ohio University. I, therefore, have the privilege of presenting them to you for conferral of their degrees.
On the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Ohio University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degrees Master of Arts, Master of Business Administration, Master of Communication Technology and Policy, Master of Education, Master of Engineering Management, Master of Financial Economics, Master of Fine Arts, Master of Health Administration, Master of Information and Telecommunications Systems, Master of Music, Master of Public Administration, Master of Public Health, Master of Science, Master of Social Science, Master of Social Work, and Master of Sport Administration, with all the privileges and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations! Please be seated until you are called to the stage by Dr. Shields.
Candidates for master's degrees in the College of Fine Arts, please come forward.
Joshua Robert Boyer,
Stephen Andrew Blahut,
Joseph Daniel Carver,
Michael Colin Green,
Jordan Taylor Reed,
Patricia Aaron Varkalos,
Amelia Riley Thornton,
Sarah Blake Liebman,
Guilherme Coelho Godoy,
Linda Kulmyandu,
Bobby Luan,
Fernando Salinas,
Yanbing Dong,
Matt Fillmore, Sarah Ann Stevens,
Wu Jingzhu,
Shayna Michael Davis,
Regina Dale Vital,
Michelle Ench,
Felicia Ann Hall,
Kathleen Elise Williams,
Gregory L. Becker,
Stacy Riley Stewart,
Daniel Kevin Drum,
Hind Arija,
Richard Jordan Lurie,
Robert Gregory Arzola,
Joanna Renee Kofed,
Nathaniel Kyle Simons,
Sheila Marie Hunter,
Andrew James Payne,
Sarah Elizabeth Stevens, Stephen Aaron Contreras, Elizabeth Upton Estervig, Philip Johnson,
Candidates for master's degrees in the Voinovich School of Leadership and Public Affairs, please come forward.
Glenn E. Gaither Jr.,
Jonathan Lee Grenell,
Ching Li Huang,
William Newton Hellier,
Timothy Nicholas Green,
Bruce E. Underwood Jr.,
Lauren Michelle Hancock,
Joseph Brian Jennings,
Kristen Victoria Lofrumento,
Lauren Catherine Reynolds,
Peggy Sue Fuller,
Han Gao,
Timothy Andrew Epley,
Jeremiah Ogonda Asaka,
Andrea Marie Harless,
James David Malone,
Nune Gregorian,
Robert Matthew Ward,
Bradley N. Fink,
Sherry Lynn Oliver,
Adam R. Brown,
Erica Kristen Wilson, Lacey Jeanette Meeks, Rebecca Robeson Miller, Elizabeth Michelle Volpe, Lauren Renee McCullough, Osti Annette Payne, Megan Adonna Sanders, Jennifer Lynn Smolowitz, Wayne Alex Wiesa.
Candidates for master's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences, please come forward.
Anna Linnea Peters, Samantha J. Shaw, Amanda Marie Ward, Juan Wang, Javier Alfredo Ronquillo Rivera, Rebecca Marie Ross, Ron Wei, Ji Du,
Jessica Ann Garton.
Bing King Shu, Xu Ying Chao, Wilson Salvador Figueroa, Stephanie Marie Smith, Kruti Deepak Patel, Veronea Jordan Serrano, Archie Arthur Potter II, Austin James McGrath,
Johnny Mac Brown.
Jeffrey Scott Maloney,
Holly Beth Ningard.
Kirsten Alicia Lawrence,
Kenneth Wesley Cornwell.
Adam Martin Peteretis,
Lauren Elizabeth Wright.
Jenna Joe Tomaszewski,
Taylor Ann Weaver.
Aaron Lexi Keister,
Gabrielle Suzanne Guillen.
Carolyn Elizabeth Blanco,
Kristen Danae Jennings.
Filippo Azal Lubua,
Ashley Brianna Guineri.
Nicholas Dean Swinehart,
Amy Marie Slavin.
Mohammed Ibrahim Salah Amira,
Wade Howarth Litt.
Sylvia Nabwari Negeni,
Pandua An.
Begum Sakak,
Yang An.
Rui Shu,
Leah Marie Bettinger.
Juan Manuel Molina Gutierrez,
Qinghua Li.
Jamie Christine Taylor,
Jajin Li.
Duncan Benjamin Torkanu,
Gopal Prasad Korarawa. Rita Pandit Chowdhury. Noah Ramos Arma. Ridi Jiang. Shiyu Chen. William George Hoffaker. Catherine Lee Rabel. Heather Lynn Cayley. Lauren Nicole Pisanelli. Elise Paige Dixon. Shannon Marie McMahon. Stephanie Audrey Cheslock.
Sabrina J. Klein,
Christina Gail Baker Jones.
Francisca Lakey,
Stephen James Capella.
Courtney Elizabeth Krall,
Megan Marie Hegelson.
Peter Thaddeus Malinsky,
Kelsey Gaston Barshas.
Audrey Ann Blakeman,
Christina Maria Hauptmann.
John Michael Hills,
Bruce Block.
Joshua John Richardson,
Alicia Sanchez Flores.
Catherine Logan Schleich,
Francis Frederick Kwaku Agbemade.
Jennifer Elizabeth Bauer, Mohamed Zohir Muslim,
Sarita Na Akuye Adi.
Timothy James Iredom,
Adriana Jean Kinser.
Alec Jacob Fink,
Saren May Cranston.
Katsiarina Stulba,
Alex James Wolvrush.
Allie Nicole Dyer,
Kyle Robert Christopher Clem.
Sean David Evans,
Kenneth D. Schonkweiler.
Mary Firo,
Jillian Lee Prusa.
Robert Scott Storm,
Richard Royce Green Jr.
Adam Matthew Phillips,
Zachary J. Bodener.
Omar J. Hashi, Mohammed Abdikir Hashi, and Jacob Daniel Helm.
Candidates for master's degrees in the College of Business, please come forward.
Angela M. Kirtley,
Chelsea Elizabeth Wilson,
Sarah Joy Rasmussen,
Diana Louise Heimiller Sabo,
Ashton M. Finciel,
Kenneth Edward Troop,
India J. Meeks,
Jared Krisaloff,
Mallory Lane Metz,
Matthew Ian Gottfried,
Elizabeth Caitlin Ross,
Preston E. McClellan,
Matthew Ryan Reset,
David Henry Preston,
Eric Keith Yuckman,
Caitlin Marie Munchell,
Scotty J. McKinney,
T. Marie Strickland,
Mark Daniel Poskarbowicz,
Anna Rose Jensen,
Nicholas Kyle Wortman,
Ian Henry Key Brauxiker,
Rebecca Aaron Stone,
Alexis Noel Pinson,
Alyssa Catherine Romstadt,
Thomas Sean Simons,
Everett M. Waddell Jr.,
Ethan Paul Saporito,
Russell D. White,
Ryan Richard O'Connor,
Jonathan Siebold,
Nathan Bradley Engelhart,
James Thomas Marino,
Carrie
Jason.
Mendenhall Goodman,
Mark A. Oceanfeld,
Lindsay Christine Lowry,
Javon Salome Walker,
Shauna Marie Smith,
Jing To,
Monique Marie Perez,
Laura Lee Nowicki,
Brian Patrick Joyce,
Raghav Srinivasan,
Lucas Topley,
Giri Rajay Godfrey,
Eric David Shaynock,
Wade Wesley Tracy,
Thomas Howard Frazier III,
Sarah Elizabeth Brubeck,
Joseph Terrio de Guzman,
Caroline Susanna Heater,
Matthew Lee Lawson,
Aaron Ray Heasley,
Joshua Casey Garland,
Stacy Joe Hoffert,
Alan Helber,
Krista Matsika,
Katrina Lynn Banshee,
Gregory Scott Green,
Kara Cavan Fisher,
Jenna Renee Opperman,
David Anthony George,
Cassandra Davis Perriot,
Ilyan L. Connolly,
Catherine Rook Plageman,
Tyler J. Loomis,
Ashley Ellen Alls, Sarah Sean Fiden,
Bagench Yusupakov Amangadliv,
Spencer N. Powell,
Aaron Michael Beck,
Dahlia Hannon Royal,
Gary William Cook Jr.,
Crystal Demetria Jones,
Deanna Gay Alkire, Jennifer Adele Kresge, Charles Christopher Close, Brian Dean Monk, Catherine M. Leba, Kelsey Lynn Catry, Benjamin K. Dalton, Julie Ann Hammond,
Candidates for master's degrees in the Scripps College of Communication, please come forward.
Kimberly Lynn Romito,
Won Suk Choi,
Clinton Wayne Swart,
Aaron Richard Allen Turner,
Jason R. Casserly,
Lauren Elizabeth Pond,
Sruti Palepu,
Megan Ann Westervelt,
Somprova Nandi,
Sarah Marie Talota,
Adesola Olelayu Ogundimu,
Matthew Stephen Slaman Forsyth,
Mir Abrar Ali,
Diana Muminovich,
Clark Emerson Graves II,
Megan M. Vogel,
Tony Flynn Cujo,
Faith K. McGrain,
Madhur Adusamali,
Matthew Lee McGrain,
Madard Sika Abdallah, Venkata Ratna Rao Kali, Ifu Lu, Jing Zhao, Si Xiong, Elizabeth Joy Lehman, Heather Kathleen Cowles, Kaylin Janae Breeden,
Candidates for master's degrees in the Gladys W. and David H. Patton College of Education, please come forward.
Cecilia McFadden, Vanessa L. Sowards,
Tammy Elkins Babylon,
Amy Y. Ron,
Janine K. Hacker,
Bukila Janae Shahid,
Jeffrey Tyler Cole,
Megan Louise Thornhill,
Whitney Elizabeth Wenger,
James A. Sutter,
Thomas Dane Bennett,
Rex Elliott Payne III,
Daniel Edward Yates,
Joseph Paul Stringer,
Jana Nicole Willen,
Tiffany Renee Rowland,
Justin William Greist,
Caitlin M. McClurg,
Ricky Joe Rossiter,
Fauna Lee Stout,
David Manuel Johnson,
Jessica Taylor Hastings,
Shema Abdullah Ablushi,
Elizabeth Alice Eline,
Ida Hani Johnston,
Courtney Alexis Rohr,
Alec B. Holland,
Brooke Leslie Snyder,
Anwar Hassan Al-Harbi,
Kirsten Leigh Lehman,
Emily Dawn Bowling,
Andrea Jessica Corman,
Doug Anthony Zorn,
Holly Ray Fawn,
Lindsay Elizabeth Landers,
Jenna Marie Orr,
Erica Elaine Lambert,
Kaylee Marie Lasowitz,
Muna Fauzi Sulamani,
Lauren Ann Rogerson,
Abdurrahman Buraik Al-Sulami,
Justin J. Morgenstern,
Christine S. Cassidy,
Caitlin Elizabeth Wilson,
Linda D. Myers,
Devin Lynn Vicari,
Angel L. Negron,
Carol J. Ward,
Aaron Courtney Pennington,
Lauren Nicole Vonville,
Kayla R. Shriver,
Stephanie Ann Snyder,
Michael Jean Browning,
Patrick James Filipiak,
Christopher Curtis Day,
Russell Matthew Rogers,
Adam Andrew Howe,
Summer Lee Star Daniels Schaefer,
Jenny Margarita May Farmer Lang,
Brianna Michelle Wolf,
Brianna Marie Davis.
Jeffrey Dean Winkler Jr.,
Eric Christopher Francis.
Sid Vance Casino,
Carla Marie Crombie.
Courtney Faye Walls,
Sanquinette Cave Riley.
Amy Nicole Snyder,
Lydia Hale.
Kathleen Virginia McGuire,
Ted Thomas Fox.
Amanda Nicole Taylor,
Michelle Ann De Silva.
Melissa Ann Wilkes, Sarah Marie Luring,
Tujando.
Megan N. Villegas,
Blake A. Elliott.
Lacey Gable Rogers,
Sean Ryan Gorby.
Justin Paul Seabach,
Connor Stewart Ryan Goddard.
Benjamin James Schultz,
Madeline Joy Smith.
Janice Marie McFarland,
Katie Danielle Baltus.
Caitlin Marie Maguki,
Christine M. Volsack.
Jennifer Suzanne Perry Aldrich,
Casey Lynn Goddess.
Rachel L. Murray,
Whitney Lynn Wolf.
Maxine Diamond Rantain,
Kelly Elizabeth Watson.
Robin Jocelyn Hawk,
Katrina Lynn Heilmeyer.
Meredith Page Casey Webb,
Jessica Lee Carter.
Alexandra T. Vent,
Matthew Robert Zima.
Sean Christopher Martin,
Christina Lynn Kamer.
Adam Zachary Russell,
Charles Marcos White.
Ashley Michelle Pritchard,
Michael Justice Walker.
Francis Tosca,
Chris Lee Schmidberger.
Tyler Scott Barton,
Jared Scott Van Acker.
Andrew John Mooney,
Larry Dale Patterson II.
Bruce Curtis Aquino,
Mark Allen Porter.
Kelly Nicole Steffen,
Alonzo Pierre Crowder.
Trent Britton Moore,
Evan Lawrence Shanley.
Tasha Nicole Westfall,
Lauren Michelle Pearl.
Ashley Kathleen Sasala,
Emily Elizabeth Clark.
Joseph Anthony Semino III,
Catherine Diane Moore.
Dana Rose Santoro,
Patricia Jean Riley.
Ashley Latrice Love,
Russell Monroe Morrow Jr.
Virginia Diane Grick Sellers,
Greg Rawlingson.
Catherine Ruth Thompson,
Mary Rose Kathleen Hillstrom.
Whitney Teal Weber,
Samantha Claire Parker.
Sarah Amanda Harp,
Patricia Kelly Ovington.
Reagan E. Thomas,
Andrew Parker White.
Blair Marie Crombie, Jody Marie Wildermuth, Julianne Louise Wallace,
Candidates for master's degrees in the Fritz J. and Dolores H. Russ College of Engineering and Technology, please come forward.
Tiffany L. Reynolds,
Oliver Giraldo Lodono.
Marcus Patrick Zabo Jr.,
Sara Saleh Aldabaja.
Chwenyan Chi, Nilesh Dilojo Shah,
Gabriel Jaime Colorado Urrea.
Shanantu Shrikant Madki,
Anwar Kadim Al-Jayesh,
Darren Clifton Wilson,
Kai-Chow Liu,
Christopher Stephen Spiegel,
Samantha Lacey Craig,
Eric Larson Nichel,
Amy Louise Lindenberger,
Brian Anthony Neal,
Brian Paul Garvin,
John Lawrence Eubine,
Jason Aaron Gray,
Grace Adams Saller,
Tyler Andrew Hogue,
John Christopher Urbach,
Brandon Heyman,
Gregory Lee Piper,
Bushra Chakmak,
Michaela Antoinette Raymond,
Naime Fulia Kayap, Shalesh Kushwaha, Manish Ashok Kotawade,
Candidates for master's degrees in the College of Health Sciences and Professions, please come forward.
Brianne D. Hill, Jennifer Noel Freeman,
Stephanie Lynn McClelland,
Amanda Catherine DeTore,
Tina M. Perkins,
Juanita Jane Kernut,
Jennifer Hope Wells,
Diana L. Harless,
Noelle Holly Santa,
Rachel Denise Clift,
Karen L. Janowski,
Carrie William Michael Bludnick,
Karen J. Sloan, Lynn D. Spencer,
Elaine Marie Larison,
Lena Mae McLaughlin,
Melissa Lynn Davis,
Sarah E. Shannon,
Jessica Nicole Lewis,
Melody Lynn Schuff,
Adrienne Cooper,
Jacqueline Nicole Stumbo,
Lisa Jennifer Boache Donqua,
Barbara J. Richards,
Vicki Lynn Erdy,
Denise Gale Sava,
Georgia G. Brewer,
Raina N. Tice,
Corinne E. Gorby,
Dana Noel Whiteley,
Bethany Mae Cottrell,
Megan Leanne Wisman,
Jamie Lynn Heisterkamp,
Diana Elaine Young,
Megan Annette Lowry,
Dana Arain Camacho,
Dawn Marie Elkins,
Lee Adrienne Wilson,
Kelsey Jean Ann Graff,
Christina Sprague Wolf,
Megan Elizabeth Chase,
Lauren Anderson Sonnenberg,
Danielle Nicole Douglas,
Catherine Meyer,
Virginia Ann Blakely,
Holly Beshore,
Philip Richardson Caudle,
Heather N. Casanova,
Angelina Marie Zarzano,
Pritam Beckel,
Mary Margaret Brown,
Yating Liu,
Catherine Lee May Deem,
Abigail Ann Adams,
Aubrey Ann Bergquist,
Matthew Dewey,
Helen Kuselius,
Angela Tawari,
Rose M. Kraus,
Kelly Ann Niebert,
Nicole Egger,
Stephen Michael Holbrook,
Samantha Brigatti,
Stuart David Lengerick,
Angela Marie Collins,
Laura Marie Crisp,
Catherine Elizabeth Holter,
Shannon Lee Gleditch,
Hannah Lou Marburger,
Sherry Nicole Watson,
Rochelle Tamar Krankovich,
Sakari Yvette Tassane,
Lauren N. Dennywitz,
Tracy J. Lambis.
Amber Marie Altier.
Jessica Marie Zacek.
Erica Rosler.
Brian Lee Spangler.
Megan Elizabeth Applegate.
Carissa Ann Dom.
Caitlin T. Lobenthal.
Robin Nichols.
Stephanie Susanna Andresak.
Dawn Sim.
Stephanie Ray Hibbert.
Ashley T. Barron.
Kayla Danielle Beck.
Ines Yai Y. Nazal.
Kimberly Elizabeth Berry.
Abby Rose Mallon.
Frank White Baker Jr.
Melissa Dawn Crandall.
Matthew David Jackson.
Bradley Arthur Cook.
Alyssa S. Anderson.
Stephen Dale Tenhouse.
Tiffany D. Jones.
Michael Scott Browning.
Casey Lynn Link.
Justin Thomas Perdue.
Fabrizio Apodaca.
Elizabeth Britt Bushman.
Sarah Ann Kane.
Michael Joe Lopez.
Jessica Ann Bartolocci.
Tiffany L. Higgins Hartley.
Nina Monica Kaufman.
Allison B. Evans.
Lucas Dwayne Dargo.
Sharon Ann Malachek.
Elizabeth Ann Weitzer.
Yana Marie Town.
Rebecca L. Warhola.
David Robert Yost.
Sarah Helen Naples.
Kirsten Grace Riggleman Watts.
Ruth Lee.
Sierra Mari Preer.
Denise Heather Greenwood.
Divya Chinminyan.
Kelly Danae Bishop.
Marlise Welsh.
Lauren Renee Yantz.
Melissa K. Weckbacher.
Dara Joe Elizondo.
Myra Elizabeth Quaintance.
Cara Leigh Schaefer.
Hallie Marie Wood.
Natalie Bethel Page.
Kathleen Joyelle Smith.
Alicia Michelle Klein.
Wendy K. Starlin.
Caroline Alicia Spar.
Candace Jean Most.
Maral Nuver Demirjan.
Christine Olivia Sampson.
Brianne Lynn Williams.
Carolyn Grace Rappaport.
Michelle Ann Long.
Mackenzie Marie McLaughlin.
Mercedes Brianne Ware.
Erica Rose Raymer.
Leanne Nicole Doche.
Amy Christine White.
Kelly Lynn Metcalf.
Kristen Ann Wells.
Randa M. Walsh Hara.
Trisha Elizabeth Peters.
Alexandra Elizabeth Winters.
Elizabeth Ann Smith.
Degrees in the Center for International Studies, please come forward.
Angela
Congratulations.
Lewis.
Sidi Mohammed Shikananaji.
Saren Indigo Goodson.
Connor Whitfield Tong. Natalie Mercury. Courtney Leigh Ward.
Fatumata Dumbia.
Leanne Oskowski.
Abrahim Tesfalo Zeri.
Manuela Augusto Ferreira Araujo.
Michael Ofori.
Tracy Mwaka Tinga.
Vonley Latana.
Abhijit Pradeep Mali.
Nahim Gul.
Ni Kote Nikwi.
Anessa Kolakovich.
Benedine Azainu.
Jacqueline Brisky,
Rhoda Doku,
Mustafa Brema,
Mohammed Ala-Uddin,
Aaron Ray Knoll,
Chikondi Kongomwa,
Lauren Ashley Ziegler,
Alicia Alexia Achins,
Mohammed Smahi,
Kati Ahayek,
Viu Torre,
Kazi Priyanka Silmi,
Reda Hassan,
Nihal Hatem Aizeldin Said,
Vicky Puspita Wijaya,
Anne Gabrielle Oros,
Amanda Athenia Samolo, Antonina Unita Dewi Suryantari, Azliana Abdul Aziz,
Congratulations to all of the graduates today. Let's give them one more round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, I now ask you to stand and please join Mr. Drum, accompanied by the Ohio University Wind Symphony, our fine faculty, university officials, honored guests, and most especially our graduates in a long-standing tradition, the singing of the Ohio University alma mater.
Please be seated. As we conclude the 2014 graduate ceremony, let us leave you with a quote from the back of the Alumni Gateway, the side that you see as you exit the main campus and head toward Uptown Athens. The quote is, "So depart, that daily thou mayest better serve thy fellow men, thy country, and thy God." And it's with this charge that we bid you all farewell and congratulate the members of the class of 2014 on this most significant milestone. One more round of applause as we're together. And now I have 3 more sentences. The marshals now will lead the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates from the arena. We ask that the audience remain seated until the conclusion of the recessional. And following the completion of the recessional, the Ohio University Graduate Commencement Ceremony will stand adjourned. Thank you.